Self-confidence is an interesting topic because it's one of my most searched topics on my website, Life with Ken. So it's a topic that I talk about a lot. How to improve your self-confidence. What does self-confidence mean? And a whole myriad of things. And because I talk about it often, there's a lot for me to discuss there. And I don't necessarily um, well, before I get dive right into everything for you, I think the best place to start when talking about self confidence is the word itself. So, what does the word mean? So, self confidence. So, the first word is self, obviously referring to you. So, you are the self in self confidence. And then confidence is made up of two root words, con and fidence, or with fidelity. And so when you put those words together, those root words together, you have you with fidelity or you with loyalty and support. And so on the topic of self-confidence, when people talk about having low self-esteem and low self-confidence or anything in that range, what you're saying is you don't support yourself. You don't have your back. You're not on your own side. You are wavering as it relates to you. You are 1 foot in, 1 foot out as it relates to you. You don't believe in you. And I want to lay it out as plainly and clearly as possible so that the point gets across that this is what you with fidelity is. Do you support you? Are you loyal to yourself? This is what matters as it relates to your self confidence, because if you don't support you, two things will happen. One, if you don't support you, no one will. And two, if you're blowing every which way, you will attach to every which thing. These two things are not conducive to a life that is reflective, one, of of all that you could potentially be, so the full spectrum of your potential, and two, your self-actualization. A self-actualized person isn't someone who is wishy-washy or isn't someone who doesn't have beliefs or morals or proverbial lines in the sand as it relates to what they will and will not do, or what they will and will not say about themselves, or how they will and won't operate. So starting with that first topic, when you believe in you, it really does something, because now all of a sudden it doesn't matter what someone else says or what someone else thinks of you. You believe in you and you know what you believe. And that matters so much because, sure, so and so may say something to you and what that person says may hurt you. But guess what? They go home to wherever they're going and you go home to wherever you're going. And then after you go home to wherever you're going, then you go out with someone else. Then you go on vacation. Then you go to the gym. Then you get what I'm saying? Wherever you go, you go. You take you with you. Whatever somebody said 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever the context of it is, whatever was said to you is only with you because you keep bringing it with you. The only thing that you're obligated to bring with you is you. And if you're going to be hanging out with you that much, one, you ought to be loyal to yourself, but two, you also should know what you believe and have a certain belief system in place that will allow you to function and operate to the fullest capacity of yourself and what it means to be you. And the only way that can happen is if you have beliefs that are true to who you are and not something that someone else said about you, or some belief that you don't necessarily believe, but you heard it's a good belief to believe, so you just believe it because you think that if you believe it, you'll get a residual rub off on you, however you may think about that. Believing in you is the first step to real self-confidence, because you are displaying your fidelity, you are displaying your support and your loyalty to yourself. And so sometimes what that looks like is, okay, you have an idea, your idea is the standout idea, you're the outlier. You need to stand, if you believe in what you're doing and what your idea is, you need to stand on the fact that you're the outlier and be like, hey, so what? If I'm the only person out here, so be it. This is what I believe. That's fidelity. That's self-confidence. Everyone may be going left, and you might say, you know what, I want to go right because I think the right is the right way to go. Who cares if you're the only one to go that way? If you believe that that's the right way for you to go, that's living with self-confidence. That's you with fidelity. And so I think what happens is we doubt ourselves, or you may doubt yourself in your expertise, or you may doubt yourself in your ability or in your skill set. You might say to yourself, oh, the reason why I don't support myself or I don't have that type of loyalty in and with myself is because I don't trust my ability making skills, or I don't trust myself in this situation or that situation. That's fine and that's all good and dandy. Don't limit yourself to a situation. Once again, you need to become your own best friend. You need to really just, I don't care how stupid I look, how stupid I sound, or if everyone else isn't doing this. If you have the belief, if you are, I know that I know, or I'm locked in on this, even if it's wrong. My conviction is this, and it is not changing. Not saying that it can't change, but it's not going to change just because of some wayward thought this way or some wayward thought that way. There's something about you that has to be rooted in something, and so that is where your self confidence comes into play, because you have one example that I like to use is, let's say, you have family or friends or, mentors or someone in your life that sees something in you that you may not see in yourself. Oh, you are a powerful speaker. Oh, you're a powerful musician. Oh, you're great at sports, whatever. And they keep affirming this and believing something in your life. Use that as a foundation. Use that as the setting, as the platform for you to say, while I'm finding my self confidence, while I'm finding my me with fidelity, I can stand firm on this belief. While I shore up my belief in myself, if I can't believe in me, it's good to know that I have people that believe in me. Sometimes you don't have it all within yourself. Sometimes you do, and you can muster up that belief. Sometimes you need to look to outside resources like your family. Hey, help believe in me. Show me what I have that I can't see. Or your friends, or coworkers, or people in your life that can speak life into you. Sometimes you do need to seek spiritual guidance. And what does God say about me? What does the world have for me? What is life? Delivering to me, and how can I be receptive of that and flow with what is flowing to me? Sometimes you have to find where that belief is, but you need to be able to find it, establish it, and find yourself in that. Otherwise, the second point, so the first point is you have to believe in something, but the second point, and mostly you have to believe in yourself, and you can find that foundation anywhere, but you need to believe in yourself, and it should be a good foundation. But then the second point is, if you don't believe in anything, you will fall for everything. So while you are developing your self confidence, you are developing your support and loyalty to yourself, which comes from your belief in yourself. And the other part of having belief in yourself is protecting yourself from not believing, or either one, not believing anything, or believing in everything. So what happens is, on that scenario, you're going every which way. I'll try this idea, I'll try that idea, I'll attach onto this thing. You go every which way, trying something new, flowing this way, flowing that way. In psychology, one of the phraseologies or terms that this is kind of framed around is identity moratorium, or this idea of your identity being this just in the air, not real, not solidified thing. And you're just going every which way, and you're believing this, and you're believing that, and you're believing this, and you're believing that. You're like a sponge just taking up everything. And while taking everything in may sound good, you don't want to take everything in when you are trying to develop a firm belief about yourself, when you're trying to develop a firm belief about the world, when you are trying to conduct and orchestrate your life in a certain way. You don't necessarily need everything from every angle coming at you, because that will distort how you think and how you process certain things. And so your intellect, what you read, what you absorb, what you learn, that should be something that you take just as seriously as what you consume food wise and what you put into your body. Intellectual rigor has a great amount of value as it relates to your own personal and self development. And this isn't because you want to be quote unquote smarter. Having knowledge is great and being smart is a good thing. But also, it just allows you to think. It allows you to have fully developed thoughts, and those fully developed thoughts eventually turn into beliefs, and beliefs turn into habits, and habits turn into a lifestyle. Now all of a sudden you are living in a way that is reflective of who you really are in relation and in correlation and trajectory with the fullness of your potential and your self-actualization. The word potential literally means nothing. It means all of what you could possibly be at some point. So that you could be anything, in the spectrum of everything, in the multiverse theory, you can be anything. So you can't really cling on to potential, but understanding that you can be anything and finding your place in that continuum of anything, and actualizing yourself to that point, becoming so good at it, and really finding who you are and your purpose in that space. That is where you find success, and that's why success is subjective and perpetual. You can find it at any stage and area in your life, because it is present in any stage and area of your life. You just may not like what you are successful at. And so, for you to understand this and really develop this idea, that really starts with your self confidence. It really starts with who you believe you are and how you operate on that belief. And so, the other thing there, too, as well, is, you know, not thinking that you are incomplete, or that you are missing or lacking something. And so from that point, what I really want to hone in on there is, sometimes what will happen is people may feel like, or you may feel like, your confidence comes from another person, or you are lacking in your, I don't want to say singleness, but you are lacking in the fact that, you think that you need someone else to better you, or you need someone else to bring out the fullness of your character. And while other people do help you in growing and developing your character, the other thing that goes into this as well, once again, is that self, is that you component. You really, and once again, it's not selfish, and you're not being egotistical to focus on this aspect. You know, you are important, and you are already whole from the thought process of everything you are supposed to be, you already are. Everything you are supposed to have, you already have. And you just need to operate on that level. So there are ways for you to operate from a place and space where life is already flowing in and through and around you, because that is when you are flowing in who you were created to be. Regardless of what is or is not attached to you, there is a specific way in life that you were designed to live and operate. The word desire means of the Father. There are things that have been placed in you, and characteristics and traits that are in you, that express themselves through you and are meant to be fulfilled through you. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. So things ripple in the spiritual and manifest in the natural. But all of that still happens in the fullness of who you are. You don't need a conduit or a third party or a tertiary party to activate what is already for you, in you, and flowing through you. So once again, this is where the self-confidence component of this comes in as well, where you can stand on the fullness of who you are, not the fullness of who you become through the addition of other people. And I'm not saying that other people don't add value to your life, but also you need to understand that you are already whole. You are already complete. The Bible says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, so there is complexities and intricacies that were put and formed in you. So when you understand the fullness of who you are, and you can develop a belief in that, that's where that you with fidelity comes into play. And when you have self-confidence, come on now, when you can operate in a space where you know who you are, you believe in who you are, and who you are is the fullness or in trajectory with the self-actualization of your life and your purpose, nothing can stop you. Now all of a sudden you can do things that you thought were not possible. You can do things that your family wasn't supposed to see. You can do things that people said you would not be able to do, because now all of a sudden you are believing in you more than you are believing in what someone who you met 5 years ago and haven't seen ever since said. So this is the power of belief. This is the power of you with fidelity, you with loyalty, you with support, you with confidence. So believe in yourself, find that confidence, and see where life takes you.